here we go. Episode 6 tonight of Primal Season 2. You guys ready for this? Welcome to Diabolical Souls Presents. You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, here we go. There we go. Let's get this lively. Let's get this going. Welcome, everybody, to Diabolical Souls Presents. Yes, we're doing Primal Episode 6. This one is a banger of an episode. I love this episode. And following last week's episode, where it kind of changed completely with the tone and the story and everything, that we were kind of just thinking it was going to follow into this revenge tale that we got tonight. But nope, they changed it up. And then we get it tonight, which is really interesting. And I'm not going to lie, it's very well done, and I'm looking forward to finishing the season with you guys and getting into possibly season 3 soon. I hope. I would love to see season 3 come out very soon. But before we get into it, I got to say a quick hello to the panel here, and quickly just mention, if you could hit that whatever button I'm thinking of, if you
notification
button, if you could hit that like button, if you could leave a comment, that'd be great. Yeah, there you go, Badger. Yeah, if you could do that, that'd be freaking lovely. Vex, how are you doing? How are you feeling, Vex?
I am so ready to dive into this episode, aptly titled Dino Vagina. I've come prepared as a result. I really feel the roast beef representation tonight. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
You've been seen.
I feel recognized.
I can't even look at you. I'm going to start laughing the whole time. I can't even look at you. Freaking.
Everybody loves Arby's. What are you talking about? It's fine.
She has the meat.
Yeah. My understanding, there's roast beef available here.
You forget I was a paramedic, and Mr. Goodwin, sir, how are you?
Yeah.
How are you feeling? You ready to do this?
Yeah, let's go. There's a lot going on in this one, and it was at first, that was going to be straightforward, and then it wasn't, and then you kind of pick up on what's being laid down. You're like, oh, okay, this got a little extra something in it. That's all right. Let's go.
And I'm looking forward to getting into it tonight, because there's, like you mentioned in the back room, there's a lot of layers to this one.
Yeah.
So, and we're going to talk about it. Nick, sir, how are you feeling? You still got snow?
No snow.
Mm-hmm.
Only the other powdery kind in Miami. Which is far from
good
me.
Stuff. The good stuff.
It's been a long day, and that's why I've poured myself a little bit of Blanton's to sip on and enjoy with everyone. But I'm looking forward to talking about this episode. And again, I haven't watched season 2 since it came out, but I kind of forgot about this episode a little bit, but upon rewatching it, the themes were like really heavy on, creation and destruction, life and death. And I just can't wait to dive into it more with you guys here.
Yes. And of course, Blair's here. How are you doing, sir? How are you feeling?
I'm doing good. Yeah, tonight we got the episode we thought we were going to get last week when we got the curveball, but I'm glad we got this one tonight. So
I'm not sure I thought I was getting this episode last time. Part of this episode I thought I was getting. Yeah.
Yeah. I know what part you thought, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we have the man with the pencil and the ink down on the bottom there, the artist known as ZACK. What's up, buddy?
I'm chilling, man. I'm actually I just now hit my groove, so I'm excited about this piece, more so about this episode. Honestly, dude, I don't know whether to love it or hate it at this point. Every time I think that something's gonna happen, I expect it, and it just completely takes a whole left turn, like you guys have said. And it's such a huge refresher for me that I'm not used to, because reading comic books all the time, we're so used to expecting what's about to happen. And just this show, man, I truly think that these characters, at any point, any of these characters are going to die, regardless if they're the main ones or not. And I think that's amazing. Having that feeling, oh shit, is this going to happen or whatever. So I'm excited about this episode. Let's do this.
And before we get into it, we have to say a quick hello to all the people that joined us tonight, and thank you so much, chat. We love the chat. We love the Gooch gang. The Gooch gang. UK Gamers, first one tonight. I've just started watching this from the start up to season 1, episode 5, Rage of the 8-Man. Enjoying the stories and the action. No speaking, took getting used to, but yes, good so far. Brother, you're in for a wild ride. It gets even better.
Oh, he has progressed since this comment.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Good evening, Gooch and gang. Happy Tuesday. Ready for another amazing Primal review. Thank you, brother. Scadia Quartzmain. I appreciate you joining us, bro.
Thank you.
Nice. It's nice seeing you return. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
it's great.
Where's Angelo?
Yeah, he'll be here. I'm sure he'll be here.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been avoiding these lives till I saw the show, and I'm gonna have to watch last week's episode 5 on rewatch because what the fuck was that about? Totally took you out of the story.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
Yeah. And then Scotty, I hope everyone's doing well. We're doing great. Reels in the house, UK Gamer. I mentioned Blair's here. Scrolling down, VEX was there. Jake, my man, what's up, brother? Hey, I know you a lot.
Don't admit that in public, Jake. Don't do that. That's a bad plan.
Tech Rat, what's up, brother? It's always good to see you. What's up, everyone? What's up with you, bro? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us there, Tech Rat. We got the one, Jamalama. Let's fucking gooch. Yeah, let's fucking gooch. Good to see you, Jamma. Thank you for joining us, brother. Bobby Blankenship, these edibles got my eyes jumping.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Oh, lovely Sherry. What's up, lovely Sherry? Hey, what's up?
Hello.
Hello. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
I think we should discuss Bobby's other comment there.
Bobby's other comment?
Yeah.
Did I skip it?
9:07 p.m.
No, I'm scrolling down. I'm still
okay. All right.
We got the big man himself. Hello, one. Gooch, get ready for my stiff cannoli show. I love you, brother. I can't wait to Vegas. I cannot wait.
Don't do it, Gooch. You'll get eye AIDS.
yeah. YSA, what's up, brother? Hey, guys, ZACK is always in profile. Hello. Yes, the guy is a machine. He's a legend. ZACK is becoming a legend among these parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I never think about that, like how I'm perceived on the camera when people are watching. So I'm like, it's just funny,
bro.
It's only my profile.
People
really
love you, dude.
My profile.
Look, I mean that's why we've been advocating for like shooting from behind, down at your work. Also, that happens to be your best side.
Shooting from
Especially when
behind
you
now.
bend over a little bit.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't aim too high.
Sned, hello, Gooch and the gang. What's up, brother? Thanks for joining us. B-Man. Hey, hi all. Can't type names on mobile. Oh, well, thank you for joining us, B-Man. Always good to see you in the chat. Obviously, Nick's in the chat. And Bobby, Car was better than Kit. Fight me. I don't know. I
don't know, man. I mean, the car had a better voice. You didn't got to have that beta, Kit voice going on there.
Hi,
Who is this?
Hi, Stacy.
You don't know this? Knight Rider?
Kit
and Car?
I haven't watched Knight Rider in full. Sorry.
Hasselhoff?
Haven't watched it in full. Nope.
If you asked me before this episode, what's the one thing you'll never see in this life? My answer just might have been a dinosaur's vagina. Jamma for $5. Jamma, you didn't have to, but you did. Thank you, bro.
Stop that! Everybody, stop that! Stop copying Leon. It's annoying.
Oh
stop
no, that's we have to now. Well, like now
is this a thing Leon does? Hold on.
Yes, you didn't have to, but you bingo, bango, bongo.
Okay, 60 for the resonator, and my grandson wants the sex robot.
Oh, I see somebody else in the chat.
I like bingo, bango, bongo. That's kind of cute. It's endearing. No?
Jake Martin. Jake, man, you didn't, but you did. You're
gonna give a Goodwin an aneurysm.
I know. I love it.
Big Ship is with me on this one. Don't mess around with Big Ship.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Nothing makes me laugh more than when you do the sigh. It's a little what do you call that little wolf shaking? I can figure that chibi.
No, she's probably doing that Indian thing where her head's like doing like an infinity thing, and you can't tell if she's shaking her head yes or no.
Oh my god! Not only are the OGs in the chat, but someone else is in the chat.
Yes.
Gerd.
Jake, this is for you.
I need you so badly. Are you coming?
Practically.
Big ship. What's up, brother? I gotta catch up. Ah, there he is. The guys are back in town. Here we go.
Fuck you! Yeah! What's up?
And we have the oest of OGs.
Oh, there he is. Another one OG. Just dropped by. Say hi.
Let's go.
We have nothing but love for you, brother. Nothing but love. Good to see you. Always good to see you. And look at this little guy popping in. This little guy. That's true love. Yeah. And Rick Costa for 2. Goodwin, you mean the woy to me.
Rossi dropped a $2 super chat as well. If you scroll up a bit.
Did he? Let's see. Oh, there he did. For $2. Look at this little man. Like he's just Vex. Even
Look, that's true love right there.
Looks like still I love you.
That is a man blinded by love and or lust.
Or
a love for roast beef. We're not sure.
That is true love right there, folks.
Man, past.
Rossi got a little Arby's sauce for you, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, horse cock radish, maybe?
Whoa.
Spicy mayo.
Yeah.
It's not Worcestershire sauce. He's squirting.
Oh, what the fuck? what the fuck?
Looks like a bulldog eating mayonnaise down there.
Put us all in a different mood tonight. So.
Stream is off to a hell of a good start. Yes, it's going to be great tonight.
Oh man.
Yes, amateur. Yes, absolutely. And hopefully he'll be joining us again soon. So hope he's doing well. Episode 6. Quickly, do you guys want to just get into it, or you guys want to give your just the quick little thoughts on this episode, or we just $2 I'll eat sandwich.
I don't know. It looks like a lot of yeast, Rossi.
Raise your head. Always great seeing you. Big ship. Vex is putting Arby's out of business.
Oh man.
Oh shit.
I'll just have the chicken sandwich, please.
I'll just take the curly fries.
Yeah, can I have curly fries, please?
Yeah, let's get to this episode. All right. Let's jump into it. Let's not even bother trying not to like episode 6. This one's called now Goodwin. Don't yell at me. Vidar. Is that it? Vidar?
Speak from your gooch though when you say it.
Yeah, come on. You know, get that inner Norse. Vidar.
There you go. Vidar.
Well, I didn't. Yeah, like I'm already at 42%. I don't need to go any higher, Vex. Like it's come on.
I think you can go higher.
I'm only
69,
focused on
69.
1%. Only the 1%.
Oh, the modern audience, I see.
Yeah. Vida. Couple things I'm gonna point out in this episode. Like you notice it about halfway through. About halfway through. You notice it. Well, the beginning here, very pale setting. That kind of like you call it the onion layer there, Goodwin.
Yeah.
With and they're on the ship, and Spear wakes up with the mud and the healing. I don't know. I don't know if she's just putting mud on there, or she got some kind of healing combination of herbs and.
Yeah, the idea is it's a poultice, but where the hell did she get mud out in the middle of this?
She's a witch, man. Witch
That's
can just
not mud.
Oh no!
Oh, wait a minute. What?
Staph infection. Come on.
Wait, you're serious? Is that?
Be safe out there, amateur. Stay warm.
We've got some R. Kelly action going on here in this boat. That ain't right.
If anything, that
No,
would be
Neil
what the
Gaiman.
dog-
Oh,
That is
Oh,
anger third, actually.
What? Oh my
Fang
god!
poop. Yeah.
So that's
German.
dinosaurs, right?
What's that,
It
Zach?
would have to,
It would have to be the dinosaurs' feces, man.
Yeah.
That could be hers. You don't know. She could be German. She's into that shit.
She's got a booty on her. You never know.
Yeah.
A lot of it, though.
That's
I-
not how poop is stored.
What?
I mean,
I've
had little
liking
kids.
full time.
Yes, that is how they store it sometimes. It'll be all over the place.
That's true.
So I love this, that showing her Fang just like, you know, basically lethargic and resting. Like she's got all the arrows in her. It's just a great shot. Myrna is taking out the arrows, and she runs to Spear as he awakens and yells out her name, and she comes over to him, and he just like a real intimate moment between the two.
Your cable.
Fishbowl.
I think Mira smeared her feces on your cable again.
Am I good? Am I
Yeah,
good?
Now you are.
Okay. Just a real good and intimate moment between the two. It was really cool as well to see. Like, yeah, just looking at each other. Yeah. And then, yeah, pulling out. And you could hear, I don't know about you guys, but the sound for this.
It's very good.
Oh, it's incredible. The bass in this was like very, very prominent in this episode. Like, it was incredible.
Out of curiosity, do you guys think that Mira knew at this point that Fang was with child?
No,
I don't think so either.
No? Okay, all right. I was just thinking like a women's intuition thing, and she praises the moon and all that stuff. So I was like, maybe she knows.
While Fang was asleep. Like,
because I was like, as an afterthought, it makes sense. As an afterthought, it makes sense why they, why he intentionally focused in so much on her pulling the arrows out and all of the blood pooling and whatnot compared to Spear.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Spear wakes up; he's already done. But this also demonstrates the relationship she has with Fang, which was demonstrated the last season. You know that it wasn't just.
Yeah, for sure. No, I was just thinking like, because they could have flipped it the other way, right? Maybe she had finished with Fang first because she's got all the arrows sticking out of her, and then attended to Spear. It could have gone the other way, but I don't know. Just as an afterthought, I thought, no, maybe she knew.
Well, I mean, she would have prioritized Spear.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay. Fair.
I like when they pull the arrows out and they hit the ground. You can hear the metal.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I mean.
These are not
sound in this. Yeah.
Nice touch.
Yeah, they're not stone. You hear the clank of it, so you know they're real steel iron.
Star Wars Marvel purist, everyone go give him a sub. Check him out. Great channel, great guy. What's up there, Star Wars? Thanks for joining.
He puts out some good stuff.
He does put out some good stuff. Yep.
He does puts out great stuff. Go check him out. And if you're watching the replay, go check him out, please. Bobby, humans will pet anything. Yes. So yeah, there was I don't know about you, Goodwin, or the panel. Apologies. There was a lot of, you could feel the weight in this animation.
Yes.
Like everything going on there is very grounded. It was just incredible. I really, really appreciate the animation for this one, and the art is just insane throughout this one. Like, he didn't blow his wad on episode 4. He like all of it anyway. This one had some juice to it, especially the line work, and we'll get to it later. I love this moment where he's seeing Myrna, hugging Fang and nurturing her, healing her. He's loving every moment.
It's like, my sister wives are getting along. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. So yeah,
I love this fog.
Yes, the fog.
Yeah.
It's gray. It's like it's a dark.
They're lost in the sea, and
setting it up, and then we see Fang starting to sniff. She gets a scent of something, and then right away Spear notices that she's caught onto something, and he prepares for battle. And then it's on like Donkey Kong right away, as we see the father and son arrive, and the battle. Whoa, the battle continues with the son shooting arrows down from the top of the, like, I don't want to say crow's nest because that's not right, but the top of the
mast.
Mast, yeah. And he shoots arrows fast, for damn sake.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead. Beck.
Oh yeah, I just want. Wow, you heard that? Okay, just to add in here, I was very appreciative of how fluid all the animation was throughout the action sequences this episode, because there have been some so far in the series where you can see it's a bit choppy just because they kind of save the animation for details elsewhere, and you know it, Rossi. But I like that, especially for Fang. You notice it the most that it's a very smooth movement for her in all of the action sequences.
Yeah, I think they can't because when they get a little choppy, it's usually because there's just like sheer numbers and you're dealing with it, or it's
So
a quick
much.
dispatch or whatever. This is so personal, in combat. There's only 5 combatants involved, and it's very close quarters. Having a fight in a telephone booth kind of thing. That he has to do it. With kind of maximum detail and smoothness.
It's very confined. You're on a ship. There's nowhere else to go. So
I guess having a simple backdrop to all of this too kind of helps highlight the animation more, because you don't have to focus on all the environmental things that need to change with each scene on top. Yeah.
Right, and he's showing like equal matches of skill, right? The strength and all of that, right? So that it's always going to be the small things that are going to define the fight, and the only way you do that is if you're going full frames for the animation and going as detailed as you can get.
What did you think of this battle sequence? I thought it was probably one of his best. Besides, episode 4 was like legendary, but this is a really good one-on-one, hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, this is something we haven't seen again. It's the kind of after episode 4 where I was like, it's been one thing to fight animals to
they're hitting
get
too.
Apes and all that stuff, right? But it's another thing when you're taking on another human. That's a step up in the game, and one that is trained and has a technological advantage, right? So it's definitely going to you're going to show strength, perseverance. Everybody's going to take some hits. The back and forth of a fight, all of that's there, and it's all here in this one.
Before we get started, ABF, thank you so much, brother. Also, if you don't know who ABF is, where have you been?
Yeah, he don't miss.
He hit himself tonight, so
he doesn't miss again.
He doesn't miss, but he hit himself.
He knows how to finger really well. There you go.
What the fuck?
Nothing but love for my Cabal member.
Yeah, Zach's just like, what do you mean one finger?
Cabal mate. Yeah. I'm gonna play this one for you there. I love this one.
Come on. Okay. You wanna play rough? Okay. Say hello to my little friend.
And this one.
Phrasing.
There we go. Thank you, ABF. Nothing but love, brother. Go check out his channel. Got a great channel as well. He's on fire. He's just killing it over there. So go check him out. Getting back to this sequence here is just amazing. The combat, everything going on. There's again like the weight, but the color tone is very
Zach.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's very pale.
Because the mist, the fog is
a washout.
The washout. Yeah, and the sound is incredible all during this. The boats creaking, everything. Like, look at that.
Yeah, he's showing like the way the fog works is it tends to like amplify local sounds, right? There's a muffle to higher pitched stuff, but things that are lower pitched just kind of reflect back and seem like they're louder than they would be otherwise.
Yeah, great sequences. And then we got Fang versus the child. I think the child's name is
Eldar.
Heldar. Yes.
Hildar.
Okay. Yeah. And then,
the coloring, sorry, just to add on to that, throughout the episode, this kind of felt like a dawn of a new age almost kind of vibe going on, because like this is the end of a very violent kind of crusade for Spear and Fang. It's kind of the beginning of the end for this Viking dude and his son, and then there's it transitions to purple in the middle of the episode, and then we get like oranges and pinks and reds kind of in lighting towards the end. So I very much enjoyed that nice little subtle color transition. Sorry, Rossi. I more than one person can finger me good. I'm sorry.
My God.
There's enough roast beef for everyone.
He would take a bullet for you, Max.
There's more than one.
It's like an all-you-can-eat sandwich bar.
Yeah, this scene here. There's a scene right here where he kicks him, and he turns his head.
I love this because he's fighting this guy, and he's like, "Whoa!" He's probably never fought somebody like this before.
Yeah,
he's beating this guy. He's just coming back at him, just screaming and charging at him, and
I think this is also the longest 1v1 Spear has had throughout his entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Spear really hasn't encountered other people much, right?
Yeah.
And again, doubly so when you got someone who's wearing armor, so a lot of that just gross strength doesn't quite work. And this is a guy who is trained. He knows what he's doing. He's not just doing it with with balls and bravado. He has technique that he's using, and it's frustrating Spear to a certain degree. But Spear has just that I'm not going to quit.
Yeah. You see that he gets madder and madder.
Yeah.
It's also a little mismatched with his son fighting a T-Rex and then Mira, which Mira's not a slouch, as she's becoming more formidable as the last two episodes go, and 4 and 6, of course. But he obviously the son obviously gets in a bad situation, but gets knocked overboard, right? But I like the way she protects Fang with the shield after just healing her. So it's like, hey, I just went through all this work to heal this girl up. I'm not going to let you impale her again.
I just patched all this up. I don't need new holes.
I got shit on my hands for this. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
I ran out of feces here.
There's a couple interesting thing, or one big interesting thing I noticed about this Viking father and his son. So the name of the episode is named after a Norse god who's known for vengeance. And the sole purpose for these two characters the entire time are vengeance, even at the sacrifice of his son's safety, which we see this. I can't remember what the father's name is, but we see that him do that. Pardon?
Just the chieftain, I think.
Okay. We see the chieftain do that quite a bit, whereas every time we see Spear and Fang and Mira get action heavy, it's very much a collective that they're protecting. So there's more at stake for them, and they realize that, whereas every time you see the chieftain go in, it's just, this is all I have left. Even though he's clearly got a young boy that he can still live for.
There's again, when I was watching this, I was like, they really should have named this thing Consequences. But because there's a lot of things that come to a head in this one. But he has the dream of Bildar, coming out of the fire. But he is obsessed with vengeance. The son, is younger, but would still go along for that as well, right? So they're kind of unified in purpose. But it's one thing to be out for vengeance, another thing to just be fighting for your survival, which is what these three are doing, right? And that the emotions of a moment, or rage, hatred, all that stuff, that can burn off or do as much damage to you as it does to your opponent. When you were in just straight up survival mode, there's no stopping you until you're just out, right? You're knocked out or killed. And so I think that's kind of his surprise a bit, is that he's saying, these are going to be cowards or whatever. No, they're in survival mode and they ain't playing, right? And,
well, there's the other thing about it is the protection. So even the range of emotions throughout this battle is the chieftain just in full rage, fighting Spear, then watching Spear and being in absolute shock at the stamina, the rage that Spear gets. He's amazed by his fighting prowess. He can keep up with him, and he has nothing to him really. He has no armor or anything, and he's going toe to toe with him. So he's kind of taken back by that. Then he gets enraged, thinking, I gotta somehow kill this guy. Then he's looking at his son, and it's in protection mode. I gotta be that father. And then you see Spear do the same thing, where Spear is seeing Mira and Fang, in trouble, and he has to protect them and get involved. It's
but the thing is about Spear
and,
is Spear's motivation doesn't change, right? He's always in protect family mode at this point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This motherfucker showed up and is like, you are not going to be a threat to my family. Now he has to tactically switch to different places because there's a more immediate threat to them, so I'm going to move over here. But he is always like consistent in his motivation. This guy is vacillating. Right, and he's actually putting his son in danger over vengeance for people he's already lost. He is risking the future for the past, all about the past. That's a problem.
Quick shout out to Doc the Butcher. Thanks for joining us, bro. Appreciate it. This is such a great episode. I really enjoyed the beginning is fantastic. And then you see the father. He sees his son getting tossed around by Fang. Throws the
crunches on him.
Yeah. Now you're starting to see the color and the tones start to pop out. Yeah. This is just like, it is so beautiful. The way he, like, his color tones for this episode is just eye popping. And he's
revealing what he needs to reveal, right? So at first it is, we are merely fighting in the gray because we are the only things that matter or whatever. And then as things go on and the battle pitches a bit, you begin to see things clear up. You realize, you know what? They are not just out on an ocean doing a thing. This is a river, and there will necessarily be risks. And congrats, we just introduced one, and here we go.
Yeah. The color tones, Vex, because I know, like, from last year, like, when I started talking color tones, you've been like, I'm going to start watching color tones because you're absolutely amazed by that. But, like, what are your thoughts when the later half of this episode, like, and then when we get into the woods, it even changes even more. But, like, I'm just curious because I know you've been watching it.
No, I liked like I said earlier, I just like the transition that it kind of goes from like doom and gloom to like the dawn of a new hope, right? Also, there's very few instances, I don't think I can recall any instances, in all honesty, where they leaned into purple so much in the background. So I was actually I was interested about what they were going to kind of foreshadow with that, but it ends up just kind of being a transition more than anything. It's a little bit neutral because this is clearly also like purple could be like a royal color, right? So you kind of see like the maybe it's symbolic kind of how these are two like leaders, like powerful leaders going after it, and also kind of you have the end of a chieftain bloodline and whatnot going on at the same time. But yeah, I like the use of purple. Here.
Vex, I actually wanted to add into what you were saying. So when I was at the Cuba school, the way that the instructors told us is that when we create characters or first before the backgrounds in color theory, the characters that would be considered dominant, that you wouldn't want to question, that that are heroic no matter what, would have characters that would consist of blues, reds, very dominant colors. And then the ones that are shown in question, that you don't know who this individual is, they're the kind of character that would be in the back of the room not saying anything, would have your purples and greens. And it's the same rules apply for backgrounds depending on the scenario. So the fact that he was using the purples a lot in this background has me thinking, furthers enforces what you were trying to say.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. I didn't know that at all. That's very cool.
The other thing is that when you're doing landscape painting and things like that, generally if you're doing mountains that are in indirect light or mist or whatever, it's purple. There's a reason that the Star Spangled Banner says purple mountains managed.
Again, you're seeing them work as a team, the three of them. It's just amazing to watch. And the way they problem solve so quick throughout these like very, very fast actions of like danger and enemies and everything that they encounter is amazing throughout this series as well.
Yeah, they're all on. I mean, this is certainly not Mira from prior episodes, but it's that they are all, tactically as they kind of rotate and they switch and whatever, the decisions they make are always about protecting one of the other.
Yes.
Right, of the three. And so that makes the decision fast, right? You move when you see loved one in danger. And this again is there's a real dichotomy in motivations amongst this, right? And even within the chief, he is struggling between the two, right? That I'm getting my vengeance. This is the honorable thing or whatever, but I'm also I see my son in danger. So he keeps pulling back and forth in that, and that weakens him in a lot of ways, right? If you're going to be on the offense, be on the offense. You can't worry about other people.
The direction is uncertain for him.
Right,
almost.
right. Yeah, he's always vacillating.
Until his son goes in the water, then he breaks off the attack and dies.
Right, because then it's prey.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I just quickly read this comic because I like this. The colors look like they're in a cooler hue due to the northern location. Yeah,
Right.
Probably somewhere in the Norwegian.
I noticed they started doing that from the beginning. I think we mentioned this, I think, on episode 2 or so, because the landscape change was so drastically different that it moved to a lot of cooler, darker tones as opposed to the vibrant ones we had for the first season.
Nick and Blair, I'm just curious on your thoughts. Like, we've seen this huge action sequence, and obviously there's a Norse kind of introduction here. I just want to get your thoughts on everything that we've seen so far, and like how visceral and everything that it is. Like, it's such a powerful intro. Like, what do you guys are thinking when you're seeing this episode so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think up to this point, again, you get the sense that what happened the last time we saw them fighting for survival isn't quite over yet. And it's like little did they know that there was someone that was left over from the camp that they completely slaughtered. So it's like, while they're surprised, and obviously when Fang sniffs and senses something that is abruptly charging at them, it's a bit startling, but also at the same time, so no pun intended, but they're back in the same boat of, we have to fight this guy off and his son who are trying to kill us. And kind of like what Goodwin said, like, what's going to outweigh the other, side, whether it be vengeance or survival, where they both have a lot to lose. But in terms of what, our trio is fighting for, to me, it outweighs what the Viking chief and his son are trying to do, because they have nothing left as well. Whereas it's just Mira, Fang, and Spear. They have, one more in their party than the other two. So it's now they're also outnumbered. So it doesn't seem like it's a very wise idea. And obviously, I don't think the village chief quite knew what to expect, but I would imagine by seeing the giant T-Rex footprints all across his their campsite, that he would kind of have an idea of, okay, maybe I should think twice about what I'm going to embark with my son here, because again, if your son's dead, what do you have left to live for? And we do see that. And again, when you first watch this episode, I think for those of you out there watching this for the first time, I am curious to see what everyone thinks about, is that the end for them, or are they going to incessantly try to kill them to exact vengeance upon them, which, most of the time never bodes well for the person exacting vengeance. And that's why there's a lot of light being shed around why you shouldn't seek vengeance, not even trying to quote the Bible or anything like that, but just, it's almost better to walk away in this case. Like, there's more to live for than trying to avenge your dead wife and your other, smaller child.
And remember that Spear starts from a place of vengeance.
Yes. Exactly. Great point. So, and then kind of look what he's had to go through. I mean, he's been more fortunate just in terms of, he's been able to find his love, and he's been able to keep his other love with Fang intact so far, even though she was gravely injured, but healed due to Mira saving her, or regenerating her. But it's hard to miss the tonal shifts in the color palette here. But I also think that's very intentional, just because of what Genndy is trying to tell within the story here, of like this kind of, it's almost like cooler waters will smooth the sails of the story, and it kind of seems like everything is going to be going well here. I think up to this part, like they've kind of gotten past the razor sharp rocks and so forth. They've managed to steer away from sinking their ship, but again, living in a primal world, you don't quite know what to expect. And in this episode alone shows a lot of unexpected attacks, as we see. But yeah, it's to me, like, this episode felt a little longer. I think just because there was so much that went into it. Which,
agreed.
I remember looking at this part, I'm like, how much time left? I was like, oh wow, we still have a lot of ways to go in this episode. Which was great.
Yeah. Do you think the Nick? Do you think the kind of continuously shifting color palette? We start with the gray of the unknown, and then we get to this bluish, this bit of light. We're starting to see some things, but still a lot of lack of clarity and all that. And then as things go, the color palette just kind of keeps shifting until things really come into, we understand what everything that's going on and all that, right? The actual background color palette is part of the theme of progression of what's going on in this episode.
100%. Like, I think I wrote down in my notes that it's like looking at one end of the spectrum where you've got your Roy G. Biv, right? And as it's going from one to the other, towards that part where we're getting towards the orange and yellows and then the pinks, shit hits the fan at that point, and it ends in red with a certain splatter, right? And I think that's just kind of fitting the way it all just sort of is literally painted in the background for us. So it's like I want to think it's intentional from Gendy's storyboard, but even if it's not, it's certainly a great coincidence.
I like this question. I was wondering where Spear is traveling from. He first came to the Celts, then the peaceful tribe, and then the Norse. Vikings were in Scotland, so I'd say he was moving west to east. That would mean I was thinking it was kind of like a Pangea.
That's what I assumed as well.
Yeah. Because of we see Fang, and obviously, like, when dinosaurs were roaming, it was like a big Pangea, and we know that a lot of dinosaur fossils are from, like, in the Alberta, Saskatchewan, and even Manitoba region. There's a lot of fossils, and
but like T-Rex is it's post Pangea. Pangea is like 200, 300 million years ago. T-Rexes are stomping around. From at least the theropods that are very similar to T-Rexes. Going around like the last 10 million years, of which there are dinosaurs.
Even the mammoths. And
so you've had a separation of like Africa and Europe from the Americas and things like that. I think from a cultural standpoint, so one thing that we get confused about is we think, oh, the Celts, that's Britain. No, it's not. The Celts were a culture, not a people, and it was most of Europe at one time, Western Europe, right? The Norse are going to be in Scandinavia. They're not so Celt, but they're also a bit geographically isolated. So, I mean, he could be going west to east. He could also be going south to north. Who knows, right? But also, there's a fucking T-Rex. So I don't think that actual geography is going to matter all that much, right?
No,
what you're going
that's
through
what
is
I mean.
You're kind of like time traveling, right? You're moving up the technological advancement scale, right?
There's like he fools around with all the timelines. He's having fun with it.
Celts don't have steel.
The lights. The light source. Holy shit! Love
them God rays.
Blair, is there anything you wanted to add at this point?
So a big shift from the first season. The first season was much more vibrant, more jungle. The waters were clear and almost a topaz color too. And as we come to this new land, it's also a lot of it shrouded in mist. Also, it seems kind of alien to him and Fang, because it's not like where they're from. The trees are different, the peoples are different. because, well, first off, there are people. They're not like ape type people. And, technology wise too, they're finding, metal tipped arrows and swords and bear riders and, all kinds of stuff. So, it's a really good shift from the first season to this one. This one is we're kind of like a lost in time aspect of it too, because we're going from civilization to civilization.
Yeah.
So you really do get kind of the time shift feeling in this land that we're in now.
Yeah, there's almost like Garden of Eden primal kind of nature with the land that he's on initially, and he gets here, and it is much more like European climate and all this stuff, albeit still with T-Rexes.
Yeah,
this is the part where Fang starts sniffing around, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is
so funny though.
Yeah, this is where she starts like sniffing.
It's the music.
It's Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum,
even like the overhead shots where you see her going through the trees.
It's very Looney Toony, which I am all for. I think it's great. Like, you've gone through this heavy intro to this moment here where she's in Tartakovsky and Bachman do this beautifully of like changing the emotions and the tones in their episodes. Just and so. And you feel the weight as she's walking, right? You feel the thunk, 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 and like you just everything's going on, and then you hear the bump, 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 and the music for this is just phenomenal, absolutely gold, Jerry, gold.
Yeah, the interesting thing, I think it was when they do the overhead, and you see they're standing here, and there's cross behind, and then cross in front, and cross back around, and all that, and I started. Like a long ago mental itch began, and the minute that she touched the ground, I was like, I know exactly what this is, because those of us who have had wives who got pregnant and are about to give birth know exactly what nesting is, and it'll drive you insane. Right, because like 2 weeks before they're going to give birth, suddenly everything has to mess with. I'm going to rearrange this. I'm going to do that. They just go into that, and it was like, sadly, I'm seeing this behavior in a fucking T-Rex, and
Goodwin's having PTSD.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, no, Fang, I'm not straightening that picture one more goddamn time.
Here's a question for our boy Zach. Zach, if you're drawing Fang giving birth, I will die laughing.
What did you?
Who said that?
Rick.
It's not a bad idea, Rick.
Yeah.
Hot cloaca action coming to you.
Oh my god, dude.
How can you not love Fang? She's such a beautiful little T-Rex. She's amazing.
She has that glow that the motherhood gives.
The moment where it clicks for Spear right here. Flashback, he's like the way he gets so giddy.
Yeah, that big goofy grin on his face.
Yeah, it was so well done. It was just like the timing of it at this part of the episode was like fantastic.
You're happy, but you're sad. Like he's like, it just hits the feels, right? So again,
if he had cigars, he'd be running around sticking in everybody's mouth. He's like, hell yeah, all right, here we go.
We're gonna have a party.
Yeah.
This moment right here is just like, oh, this is heartbreaking. Like you just like, now you've like it just comes full circle. Now you fully understand it, and then
Spear become chaotician. Realize life always find way.
Look how happy he is for her. Like beautiful moment. Yeah. Like, she's like, bitch, what? I'm trying to make a nest. So, look at the love in his eyes.
This is a very cute moment. I really like this.
Yeah, he's gone full fatherhood. No. You need to lay down and rest. I'll handle this shit. Here we go. Yeah.
Right.
And then he goes running off.
Fear.
Yeah. Look at him. He's prancing through the forest, wrapping leaves. Like he's just.
I like all the.
And I love Mira looking at him and like, what the hell? And then she's like, oh, okay, that's cute. All right, I'm gonna do that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Now we get the reds coming in.
Oh,
the reds
dude,
and oranges.
the fucking water, dude. The water on the stream. That was one of my favorite parts of the show for this episode.
Oh, this is definitely not going to be called back later.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Foreshadowing? What?
Yeah.
And there's the Reds, like you said.
Sun, 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 here it comes.
The dying sun
Yeah.
and the dying sun.
Mm-hmm.
And then the son realizes his father's bleeding as well. And yeah. This part right here with the demon.
This is
Not sure.
Bildar.
This is Beldar?
Yeah, this is Bildar showing up.
Vidar.
The demon, yeah. I thought, yeah.
Vidar.
When I read that that was where the title for the episode came from, I was like, oh, so that must be this demon that he's summoning. Because when we get to it later, it's almost as though his son is like a blood sacrifice in order to get this power.
Yeah, but he doesn't summon it.
It's drawn to him, if anything.
Well, it is an existing thing, right? It's just like, bitch, what are you doing? I thought you were all about that vengeance shit. And he's like, oh yeah.
But you'd have to accept that though, right? Knowingly or
no, he already did. This is just that he's being reminded of the god of vengeance, and that he had already sworn vengeance and taken on that burden.
I thought this was because I haven't seen what happens later on, right? But the way I saw it is he's so unsure of whether he needs to be mourning his family, being there for the family he has left, or on this quest for vengeance, that it like indirectly he almost, with that energy, he summons an evil being to him, and that kind of gives him the power to move forward and just focus on vengeance alone. That's what kind of pushes him to climb like a cliffside and then start taking over.
No, I mean, so I mean, in Norse mythology, like especially the gods, you don't summon shit, right? They do their thing. They care about you or they don't. I
mean, drawn, not summon. Like it was just.
I think again, there's a reason it's in his dream, and he had already sworn vengeance. He understands what that involves, right? He had gone through it. He's being distracted a bit from that for the moment. And the dream comes back, and here is Vidar again. And he's like, yeah, and wakes up, right? But I think it's an understanding of the risk, right? That this is a god that probably doesn't, things don't end well for those that they're really down with it, right? The Norse have some pretty fucked up looking gods for the especially the darker side of human behavior.
When that demon came out of the fire, I got a call back to the witch episode where they had that one being.
Yeah.
And at first I thought maybe it was some type of payback. You know, the elder gods are like, because all of a sudden they have that look, that shape.
Yeah.
Same shape.
So, all right. So is my understanding then that like before they choose a certain path, they know very well that if they do, they are enacting the things that the gods that they practice, that they worship. They know that like before they go into it.
I mean, you know who the god of a thing is, but predicting a god is a foolish game, right? They are what they are. Whether they pay attention to you or not is irrelevant. But they mean something to you. You don't necessarily mean anything to them. In fact, most of the time, you don't mean shit to them.
And again, like the Tartakovsky, with that emotional swing. So we're seeing Fang. She's a mother. She's about, she's making a nest. You're like joyful for her. You're seeing this loving moment between Spear and Fang, and then you get into this moment with like the chieftain here, and he's having all those member berries where he's like thinking of his family, and exactly what we saw from Spear in the first episode. We were seeing him just tearing up and like,
and he's at a crossroads right now, right? I mean, he's just Sabadar, and this reminds him of his vengeance. He thinks about his family. Here we go. But then his son comes back, and look, you can choose to have the son that you nearly lost because he fell in the river and he was wounded and all that stuff, or you can go on the vengeance thing, and he chooses vengeance, and boy, does that not work out.
Take care, UK. Thank you for popping by.
Better man.
Yeah, this is where, this is the moment where they look up and they see, this was a touching moment right here. in memory of the family. And then they look up and they see these vultures. Whoa, that was a little far. Did I miss it? Yeah, but they look up and see vultures flying in the air towards a crevice in the rocks. Now we're getting to Fang, and she's circling around her nest like just like a dog. And here's the moment we've all been waiting for.
So here we have nothing, and then the animation changes, and then we have the Gooch.
True.
I really thought they were going to cut away from it. I didn't think that we'd see this. And the Fangusy. There you go.
Fangusy.
Look at Spear. He's like just wants to help her so badly, and she like has to like put her hand on her shoulder, like no, let it happen naturally.
Yeah.
He's like, I can just yank it out real quick.
Yeah, let me get the forceps. No, don't do that.
Look at his eyes, though. He's just
there's a twinkle in those. It's really cute. Yeah.
Hey, Jacob.
Yeah, and you see the pain that she's going through to deliver this. Like he's just, but like, yeah, it's done extremely well.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, 3 eggs.
I'm really scared now for the rest of the season because my god,
stakes just went up, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't want to see babies get eaten again, man.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, so I'm to understand that Vex hasn't binged this like I did recently.
No, you're the only weak-willed motherfucker that decided that I can't wait anymore. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm rationing myself.
Look, this is such a great moment. Like, I didn't know if Vex was going to be teary-eyed throughout this or
no. I was really, really happy because it's nice to like so much of this season so far has just been like it's been dark, it's been action heavy. We had like those touches of loss and then trying to find where they belong and acceptance and all this stuff. So it was nice to just have a moment where it's just like, oh, they're moving forward, right? They're getting out of that clutch of just surviving. And they're now kind of embracing life, so to speak. So I didn't tear up, but I was very happy.
Yeah. I think Vex brings up a good point. The thing, and you see it with Chieftain and Son, that when you have something you care about, that puts you at risk to a certain degree, right? And so when you're looking at this and you're like, okay, so we got Mira. Okay, she probably needs a little protection. Yeah, she can use a spear a bit and all that, but she's not all that, right? Fang generally pretty good on her own, right? Spear pretty good on their own. Now they are locked to a particular place. They can't run anymore, right? They are locked into this land for a bit, and they have very fragile cargo that they are going to have to worry about, right? And so stakes just went up.
And they can't run anymore. They got to stay in.
Yep, they are locked in. This is you got to be here.
I like this part where he's like, "I'm going to touch the
I'm going to touch," and she's like, "Nah, bang,
no." Yeah,
and then does the roar at him like, "Hell no!"
Yeah. And plops her butt down on top of the eggs, and then she like gives him a yell like, "Fuck off!" Like they don't touch the eggs. Yeah. This is the father and son, the chieftain and Elhan.
Eldar, yeah.
Eldar, sorry. Climbing the rocks, scaling up, and they see the vultures, and then the son just decides to jump off and on top of the vultures and hangs on, which is
insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kid's got balls.
Right.
Youth. It's youth. You think you're indestructible. What are you talking about?
True.
And it shows how much of a beastmasters these people are. They tamed bears and rode them.
Yes.
Yeah.
You took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Go. Cook.
And then they get these. I'm sure if they would have gotten a dinosaur, they would have ridden them too.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I mean, this is a contrast in
Go back. One.
culture and behavior, right? You know that Fang and Spear are very much, you know, of the primeval animal world, whereas you've now reached a culture where they understand the domestication of even like apex predators, like, you know, giant ass bears or whatever, and so that advanced culture and the separation from nature versus those who operate entirely within the natural world. There's a civilizational clash and a you know, a clash at multiple levels.
Plus, these guys are using ropes, and the bear riders had stirrups and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah,
Whenever
have
he
steel,
writes
have
Fane,
you know,
he's this bareback and wild, you know.
right.
I wanted you to go back to this because one of the great things about the color throughout this episode, yeah, we start out really drab, really muted, but series seems to get better and better with each episode with it, but you can tell it's daytime. You can tell that there is sunlight outside, and all of the colors, even when we were seeing them up in that cave with the vultures, you can see how vibrant it all is because it's the light of day. So I like these shots like this where you can see the contrast between colors, and it just he's getting better with backgrounds, and it's very visually pleasing.
Not you going in between.
Well, I think he's having.
I can't contain myself.
Yeah, to some degree, he's having to make up for the you know, backgrounds in like season 1 are essentially you're in like jungle a lot or different things, right? And so you're using the vegetation and all that to be the background scenery, much like when he was on the ocean, right? There is no background other than high water.
Sky.
So he has to step up his game with the sky, with the colors and all that, right? Same thing with here. You are under no canopy here. Right, you know, you're out here. You're looking at kind of this wide open vista. You are going to have to make up to give the scenery life. You're going to have to play with light to make it work.
Just to add on to that as well, he understands how much a color palette changes in real life between environments. So yeah, a jungle's very bright, but then when you look at kind of the plains and mountains of North America, it's a very simple color palette by comparison. But he makes it. Look at the reds there. He makes it work.
Yeah, because I mean the thing about like if you're in the jungle, what you will never see is like the red sunset that you would on the plains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just as they're being attacked.
Oh shit.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I've been scrubbing a little forward. You saw Spear running back and forth with fish to feed Fang, and he feels like he's doing his job, his duty. Myrna's trying to fix the boat, and then the chieftain and Heldar are, you know, returning with the vultures and full attack mode. And look at Spear. First thing he does is protects the eggs.
Yeah.
And Fang she knows that what her role is here. It's like instinctive. It's just like very quick now. They know what each role is.
Yeah, exactly.
Myrna's got the bow and arrow, and she's fighting into it. Yep.
Well, and I think again, it's their priority stack is like ever changing based on who is at risk, what's going on, right? Because like, you know, the whole Spear just diving on the eggs because these are the most precious things, and he's getting, you know, on top of them, whereas he knows that, you know, Fang has a bit more range, but also she's going to be in defense mode. Yeah, which would necessarily put the eggs at risk. All right, now he's trying to do some ranged weapon action with throwing rocks.
Also, the use of camera angles freaking amazing in this as well. Like he just like the angles he uses. Like
once I saw them on birds, I was like, oh, here we go. The camera is going to get busy now.
Yeah.
Just to add on, in terms of like the defense angle too, now we have 3 characters that have all kind of experienced the worst loss anyone can really imagine. So like the response being so immediate, like kind of clutched at my heart a little bit here, because you know it's not just instinct anymore. Like they've seen firsthand what could happen if things go sour. So that hit me.
Yeah, it's one thing to be told a thing. It's another thing to know it in your bones through experience, and they know it.
Look how beautiful that is. I know, it's just drop dead gorgeous. It's amazing.
As soon as he went airborne, I was like, oh, let me put on my seatbelt. Things about to get crazy now.
But
all the mountains, the shadows, and
But I'm gonna say it. We heard the Looney Tunes with Fang earlier. You look at the mountains and everything. I thought of like Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, Wile E. Coyote. You're waiting for Roadrunner to be running in the background. You just see a cloud of dust. Yeah.
Beautiful, just beautiful work. Yeah. And again, the use of camera angles. Like, look at that. Like, wow.
A long way down.
Fisheye.
Yeah. Great shots.
And he's gonna drop her, and
she's like,
hang on, sister.
Yeah, all this happens real quick, and she's fighting for her life here.
I feel so bad for these birds the whole time, by the way. I was like, man, these poor turkeys are just getting their necks choked whole time. They just wanted to chill, man. They just want to do their own
chickens.
Thing.
Yeah.
What are we choking, Vex?
Sorry. Phrasing.
We got a lot of choking chickens. And
we saw the cloaca. We needed to choke the chicken.
To balance out all the vagina scenes in the episode.
Yes, exactly.
Well, yeah, it's so it's very compact, but like because there's so much going throughout this episode. Like, and again, the emotional swings and the amount of action you get in this, it's just phenomenal.
Yep.
Oh, look at those reds and purples again in the background.
Yeah, gorgeous. Yeah, a lot of this is just like a lot of action scenes. Again, we see Spear and the chieftain go at it, which is great on top of a vulture and high up in the air.
And you get the for the stills don't really convey the sense of like moving platform that you're on kind of the whole time, right? That they are fighting balance because the birds are banking and flying at different angles, and so I'm just going to swing at you, and you're like, oh no, I'm not, right, and having to hold on. You can't just be full combat because the next thing you know, you're flying off a bird and you're dead, right? And so there's always kind of hold the safety line kind of thing while still trying to have combat with someone. And then here we go, the magnificent Neanderthal on the flying trapeze. That was a great bit there.
Yeah, it was great.
This like whole sequence too just reinforces again the motivations for all of these characters, right? Like you see Fang like very purposely stop and see, oh, Mira's like literally hanging on by a thread over there.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, the chieftain just doesn't give a fuck about what his son is really doing. He doesn't, it's not in his frame, his vision whatsoever. So until it's too late.
She's got to make a decision now, and she has to let go and just like stick that landing.
She's got the body to stick it, so
yeah.
Should tall glass of water.
And then uses it as a club and just beats it. I love that bit.
Yeah, he swings around, kicks the chieftain. Yeah, great
headbutts and all that. And again, because you can't let go. Here we go.
I didn't realize there were tears in his eyes.
Yeah. You see it. You see it play out when his father gets knocked off the bird.
Man, he takes vicious fall. Yeah. And I mean, like when I thought about it, I went back and I tried to count how many branches he had. I forgot the number was now, but I mean, and it's so weird because you think by the time he hits the ground and tumbles a shit ton and hits his head like smack dab on a rock, you're like, he's dead. Yeah. That impact's gonna kill him. He starts moving again, and you're like, oh, maybe the branches somehow
slowed him.
Yeah, it's eating his speed, right? Yeah. Waiting for him to get up and go, Rambo was a pussy. First blood.
I thought for sure he would just be broken and just wouldn't even be able to move. He would just like shatter back.
You're in case of CTE right now.
Yeah,
I'm not sure he'll notice.
I'm having flashbacks. Let me tell you.
Yeah, but no, I think it's it's Tartakovsky realizing I can't just have Guy fly and just hit and there's a crater and it's like Superman hitting the earth or something, right? You have to bleed off that momentum and speed somehow, and so he's hitting everything as he's going down there.
Dude, nothing but adrenaline is kicking in that man right now.
Oh yeah.
I think he was already dying. Like, it's just his adrenaline at that point.
Right.
Oh, this kind of hurt me a little bit, and he just sees his kid just start to fall straight down.
Yep, he's powerless now.
Yeah.
In his silhouette, no less. Like
yeah,
right there.
Not the like.
Well, you could feel like the thing. You could feel the weight when he hits the rock. Like he just like a big thud. Like it's just like a Oh man.
He didn't have a soft landing.
But the thing is, like he gets hit. So Chief takes the hit to the head. He gets up, and it's almost like he's a bit like disoriented, right? And the vengeance has left him for just a moment, and then he sees this, and he's realizing, oh shit, I am now losing the only thing I had left.
And I forgot about
that. And then you hear that wet smack when the kid hits, and you're like, oh, R.I.P. kid.
Well, this is why I kind of thought of like the blood sacrifice thing a little bit. Again, I don't know what happens in the next few episodes, so maybe I'm wrong, right? But this is just kind of like what I'm interpreting moving forward, because finally it's just this kind of, now he has nothing else to worry about. There's nothing else he has to focus on aside from vengeance. And this is kind of like the blood of an innocent, right? You can't really sacrifice someone like him who's probably fucked a lot of bitches and whatnot, but this is just a kid.
Yeah, well, I mean, the other thing is that this is the necessary outcome of being focused on
the
vengeance
thing
for the past, not what you have currently and all that stuff.
Vengeance does not end well.
Good callback to when he pulled the boy out of the water, put him on the rock, and you had the boy surrounded by the water on the rock. Now he's here surrounded by blood on the rock.
Well,
you saved him once. You could have walked away. Nope.
And the coloring too. When he put out Sun on the Rock, you had that dying red sun.
Yep.
And now here it is.
Here's the red.
And then you see him give up here. He just lets go. He lets go of everything.
Like his
cool tones again.
Yep.
He has like this immediate grief where he's now lost his family twice. Coming home, seeing them all dead, and now he sees like the last part of him splatter before his eyes.
Yeah, the last thing he had of value.
Yep.
The weird thing is because they've done such a good job of like, because it's been a build up having the Vikings as the villains for, I guess it's bled into season 1 as well. So like, as much as I can empathize with it, I don't feel bad for him because I like, that's a testament right there. Yeah. Like because normally in this situation, I would feel a little bit more sympathetic, but it was just like, I understand. Why am I a sandwich? Well, read what my headline is and you'll understand.
Look, you know that Nadia is not media literate or meme literate or any kind of literacy going on, so it's fine. So again, this goes back to the comment that I made at the end of episode 4, where everybody, they were wrecking the Vikings, this and that, whatever. And I was like, now think about, had we watched this entire show from the viewpoint of the Vikings, and this madman shows up and slaughters everybody that we cared about, right? Yeah. And so if we would be following this guy, there would be there's clearly a tragic element to it where you're like, Chief, no, you still have a son. I understand the motivations, and I want to kill them too, but you're risking the one thing, and then especially when things go a bit wrong, and he saves his son from the river and all that. This is your chance to walk away. The problem is the Chief is locked on to a path that ends in tragedy for him. He can get some damage along the way, right? But he's now on that doom loop, and that's why I think that episode 5 is actually really well placed, because we stop and see it from the more civilized level, right? And see the madman show up and begin to murder everybody and what's going on right now. In that one, we see the people, overcome this or whatever. In this case, we don't, right? But they were in survival mode. Madman wasn't. Chief is not in survival mode. He's in vengeance mode, and is ignoring the one thing of value he still has. And everybody else is in survival mode. Guess what?
Yeah. I love that last shot where the sunlight is now nice and bright.
Yeah.
Like a new dawn is coming along.
So the next 3 episodes are like they're linked together. The next 3 are a 3-parter. So it's 1, 2, and 3, episode 7, 8, and 9, and then 10 is the finale for season 2. As we move forward, Blair, your thoughts on tonight's episode? What would you rate it?
I'd give it a solid 8.5. We got closure from the big battle Viking thing, and then we have a new beginning with Fang having a clutch, and them coming together as kind of like a little family unit. They fought together and to protect each other from this force, and now maybe they have a future here in this land. So I really love the beginning with the fog and the mist, because you had no backgrounds, you had nothing but just them on that boat fighting each other. And then as we got to land, it started opening up into this new world they're in again. And I really enjoyed this. This is really good.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And thank you, Blair. Nick, buddy, what you got for this episode?
I agree with what Blair said, and I think I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. And the reason why I'm going to score it a little higher, while there's not a ton that happens, I mean, there's a fair bit of fighting and action, but I think for me, this episode hits a lot of the thematical points, and this is just littered with death and destruction, birth and life. There's immediate grief and loss that happens. Again, like the vengeance here that the chieftain is on is just nothing but a path of destruction. And much like Goodwin said a moment ago, you have the choice of walking away. And while I do definitely think this episode could have been entitled as Consequences, because again, even with like past consequences that happen in episode 2, where there's a consequence of what happens between Red and Fang, and that is doing the dirty dino dance and being able to lay eggs eventually, as we see her do in this episode. So it's like where, and in some ways, Vex, I mean, you could look at it as a quote unquote blood sacrifice, a little Warhammer 40K quote, blood for the blood god, where the sun is lost, but the eggs are now here. So, you're taking the sun out of the picture here, but now you're giving, birth to this offspring with Fang and
circle of life kind of thing. It doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Exactly. And I think again, when you look at the primal instincts of everything in this episode here, again, like there's just, honestly, like great highlights between the duality of nature and the instincts between what the chieftain did, what the maternal instincts of Fang, and even with Spear, like just kind of being like the pseudo father figure, or you could say Funkle at that point too. But it's crazy because like I think in some cases we could try to find some empathy here, but I think because of everything that's happening, like you said, Vex, like, do we really care that he lost his son?
Yeah.
Like it's really hard to do that because I think we've become so attached to Mira now that she's back with Spear and Fang that, if anything happens to them, that's where our empathy is driven to. And we hope that they can find more wisdom from every encounter, every experience that they legitimately live through, because this is about survival in a primal world. And that we hope that they can, continue on every single day of their lives. You know, and it's at this point, everything kind of like ends on a high point. You know, they've fended off their attackers. They gave life, or one of them gave life. And they found a nice little camp, and they have a boat, so they can go mobile if they need to, right? So it's like things are looking on the up and up. But again, artwork was fantastic. I loved like the score and the music in this as well. So yeah, good 9 out of 10 for me.
Mr. Goodwin, if you can give a rating and give us a quick breakdown on your thoughts.
Yeah, I think we go back to episode 5 and we saw the people that are too far removed from their natural impulses, right? The thing that is kind of the essence of being alive. If you're threatened, you fight. That you protect your family, right? These are kind of just built in. They're natural instincts. The chief is again in many ways he's the more advanced. He dedicates himself to vengeance, which is a not natural impulse, right? It is specific to humans, because you have to have a certain understanding of other people's mindsets of history, and then a right and wrong kind of thing, right? Rather than there is only survival, the end. And he makes the mistake of not going with that more base instinct, which is protect your family. Don't endanger your family unnecessarily for things that are unworthy of that, right? And then we have our crew, where in the fog, they are attacked out of nowhere, and their impulses are always to protect each other, right? It's not I'm going to go on the attack and I'm going to make sure I kill. It's you are a threat to my family. You will cease to be a threat to my family, right? That's an instinctual thing. Once everybody kind of gets separated and we see the consequences of in multiple ways, but that life goes on, right? And the focus is always again on the survival, on continuing the species, on doing these things. Meanwhile, Chief has the opportunity to turn away from vengeance, where he nearly lost his son once, and he saves it, but then he turns away from that instinct again to go after, to pursue his vengeance, and runs right into, people that are still in survival mode. And he ends up losing the most important thing that he has left, and gives up and disappears into the twilight, while everybody else is alive in the sun. I mean, when I watched it through the first time, it just stopped. If I was just watching these one after the other, this one would probably get like a 7 or 7.5, because things happen. Okay, there's some very simple themes that are obvious that you could pick up on, right? But I'd been like, okay, that was the thing. Let's get on to the next thing, right? The fact that you have to pause and think about this, and again, when this was first aired, you were waiting a week for that, right? Sitting and think about this one, the more I thought about it, the better it got, because you just kept seeing oh, I see that parallel. Oh, this thing is going on, right? And it just kept revealing itself and just kept moving up the scale for me. So I think, I would give it a solid 8.5, and I'm leaning 9, but I think I'll probably sit at 8.5. And I think VEX can cover the art and the color and as Gooch mentioned, the sound, all of that is great. The story was what just kept moving up the ladder for me.
Yeah. VEX, your take on everything.
I give this episode 8 juicy fangussies out of 10. It's still a strong episode. It's just like the weakest of the one for the series for a couple reasons. The pacing just felt a little bit off. I can't remember who mentioned it, but it's like I looked at the time and I was just like, oh, there's still more. Yeah, there. Thank you. There's still more to come. Like, and it's only like a 20-minute episode. I did feel it was like some of the action sequences were just a little bit too convenient. Yes, I understand that the show has been pretty lenient with a lot of things so far, but like when they were on the ship, it just happens that, the chieftain isn't actually attacking him with the axe. He's just punching Spear with like the end of the axe, right? Which I was, and that fight went on for a while and Spear only got a little cut on his chest. The same thing can be said about Mira jumping off of the turkey vulture towards the end too. Just like, they happen to have the birds line up so nicely for just enough time, despite us seeing them independently fly off in different directions and different heights throughout virtually all of that fight sequence, right? But again, I do like that it contrasts like the whole like the primal nature, the surviving the living versus just the vengeance arc. Everyone else has kind of explored it. Love the color, sound design was also great. The music was great. I do like that it also explores quite a bit in the short time, but objectively, this was just kind of the weakest of the episodes.
Yeah, I would give this an 8.5, like I believe it was Blair and Goodwin. Because the moments, the beautiful thing about the stories is you see this chieftain. He's going out for revenge, but when he's actually going to have combat, it's all based on strategy. And you saw that with the beginning where they T-bone the other boat and they have everything tactical and everything's in place and they know how to do attack, the three of them. The second half is all based on emotion and there's no real strategy. Yeah, he's looking at the vultures, but like it's just more of gut and emotion and rage. And I love how we like leave this episode like with questions and you ponder about this episode and you admire what we watched and how much effort and work they did into this story and how it's setting up for a fantastic ending. So yeah, 8.5 for sure. And again, yeah, the sound and the color tones and the artwork was just fantastic.
Camera angles.
Yeah, the camera angles was unreal in this episode. So I'm curious what you think there, Zach. What would you give it? And I don't know if you're close to being done your
I just finished, so yeah. Okay, so this episode was pretty damn good.
Nadia.
Honestly, I was personally, I'm not a fan.
Wait till
of
she
like...
finds out what that actually is symbolic of.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not a fan of Vikings in general. Just like for me personally. So I really enjoyed the fact that we had a caveman slaughtering the hell out of a bunch of skilled soldiers who like ride on bears and whatnot. So I got a joy out of that. I really liked how, every now and then you get a villain in the show and you're like, I'm thinking, hey, this villain is being pumped up to be a big baddie or something. Like, they're going to fucking, annihilate everything that's going to come in his path. And next thing you know, like, you got, it's the human aspect, just real, I don't know, the real life where Genndy's like, nah, granted he's a villain, he's still going to get taken down in a realistic kind of way, even in a fantasy world. And every now and then I thought this fight was going to drag on for maybe, I didn't think he was going to show up in the next episode. I thought he was going to show up later on in the series. And then just to have him show up in the next episode right after the Primal Theory thing was done. I was like, oh, okay, so that was the end of that arc, I guess. All right, like, and I loved it. So, but if I rated it, I'd probably give it a 7.5, 8 out of 10. Because you could tell, like, yeah, like, it's kind of like this is like the bottom part of the series where before something really starts kicking up in the next couple episodes of what he's going to throw at us, which we don't know. at that point. So I really liked the rage between the two characters because Spear and Vidar, to me, are one and the same. They're just in different cultures, like one's prehistoric, one's in a Viking. And I like this similarity between the two that he was playing on. So I wanted to capture more of the rage in this piece. So this is what I got. All right.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ooh.
Wow.
That is good.
Go head to head, baby.
So, yeah, I really wanted to, kind of like they're clashing Spear to.
That's a nice perspective too. You haven't really done a whole lot from this this view.
Yeah, you definitely see the rage in their faces. They just want to kill each other.
Yeah, man, some of it's tough, man. I had to pose for this. I had to take a broomstick and I had to take a broomstick.
Did you have to take your shirt off too?
I actually did. I did take it. If you want to see the reference photo.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
All right.
For people who don't know, Zach sent us some reference shots from before.
Yeah.
They were wonderful.
Yeah, you can find them on his OnlyFans.
Yeah. Thanks, Zach.
But yeah, there you have it, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one thing I would say, I don't think Chief is a villain. He's an antagonist.
Yeah,
but there's a tragic. I mean, he's a tragic figure. He's lost his family. He was out, comes back. Holy shit! Everybody that I know, except for my son, who happened to be with me, they're dead. You understand his motivations, but you also see the tragic path that he's on. And when he saves his son the first time, you're like, bro, walk away, leave this shit, right? And you see him, he's kind of there a bit, and then nope. Vidar shows up, and he's like, yep, my vengeance, let's go, and sadly completes the tragedy.
You know what else is interesting is there's no one, or he has no one to tell him this is a bad idea, because he can't come to his own senses and realization that I shouldn't be doing this. And I think at one point I also thought, why isn't the son saying like, Father, no, like we shouldn't be doing this. But the son is just following his father and doing what the father does.
Yeah.
And
he backed the play of the only person you have left, right?
Well,
and
he has to trust him. He's the chief.
Yeah, and he's also father. He should know what's best. You do
exactly
right. The respect, and again, that's what gets him killed. That's the tragedy that's going. The son is not going to pull back on that, right? Unless the father does.
Yep.
Another thing about this, it's called Primal. We keep thinking of animal, savage type of thing. Well, there's more to Primal than just that. There's we see a couple little parts of it where before people, there are other things out there in the universe. And you see a little bit in that witch episode, and you see a little bit here where the demon comes out of the fire. There are darker primal forces out there. Ooh. They're slowly moving away, giving up the power, but they're still there, and they come out every once in a while, and how they affect us, either by worshiping them or sacrificing to them or trying to get something from them for power. I kind of like that when that fire demon came out. I was like, whoa,
but is it
maybe more to that?
But you also have the benefit of looking at that going, is that, because again, it happens in his dream. Is that
true?
Is that
it his dream, or
is it real, or
else?
Are the darker impulses in him?
Yeah,
that's what's making the call, right? Which again is a more primal kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Again, and it's specific to humans. The idea of vengeance, of justice, things like that, right? These are all sapient concepts, as opposed to purely primal. Whereas primal is you protect your family.
Take care, Scotty.
Right, your mate, your children, the people that are close to you that have value, right? They're part of the society, and is much like we had again in episode 5, where it was the people that had become so disconnected from that natural understanding of life and death, of what got us to the point that we could afford to have the luxury of civilization. Do we lose something in the process? does it open us up to things that may be worse than simply operating on those primal instincts, right?
I wonder if we're going to see anything about like religion coming into this too. If we see maybe more civilizations, if there's, gods or whatever, or some other type of forces out there, primal forces.
Yeah, or if they're receding because you've seen civilizations establish themselves, and
that's the beautiful thing about this series. You constantly have questions and theories, and that's what I like in a series.
And it can go any way, and you're going to be happy with it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Blair, what you got going on this week, brother?
Next week, Blue Collar Creative. I'm on with him and Roman and Devin. We do the Late to the News Mixtape Monday. Last show we had Monday was the 31st anniversary of the Alice in Chains Jar of Flies album.
Oh, great album.
So we talked about that with Pink Pam 86. She's a special guest.
Nice.
She's a park streamer. She joins us with the more musical type of things. And of course, Thursday I'll be on with Kaiju 8, episode 4, I believe is we're up to now.
Yep.
But yeah, catch me Thursday with the Gooch and Gain on that one for Thursday animation.
Nice. Nick, sir, what you got going on?
Well, tomorrow we discuss Star Wars.
Yeah.
No numbers.
Just Star Wars.
Right.
That's right.
Here on Gooch channel. Then Thursday is Kaiju number 8, as Blair mentioned. And then Friday5I'll be on Horror with Nads, talking about Stranger Things.
Nice. Goodwin, sir.
Yeah, I'll be on Thursday for Kaiju number 8, and then Friday, Adam Gray. I shudder to think what he's going to show us this week, because my God, has he been scraping barrels to torment us with terrible movies on B-sides. Then Saturday, Niat, we'll be watching Hellboy on movie nights with Niat.
Yes.
And,
Hellboy, good film.
And then be back for the animation block on Tuesday again here.
Shout out to Adam. For anyone who doesn't know, check out Adam Gray on the B-sides. I think it's
B-roll stage.
B-roll stage. Go check it out, please, and sub if you can. And also sub to this lovely lady right beside me here, as she has her live shows now. Vex, do you want to tell everyone where they can find you and what you got going on?
Thanks, man, for identifying me as a lady. I appreciate that.
It was the beef curtains on the screen.
Yeah, it was obvious.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'll be on Shagsworth's channel tomorrow night for a little bit, because they brought back the midweek hump, so I'll be their guest for that evening. But yeah, otherwise Sundays 10 a.m. Eastern Standard, I'm live on my own channel where I just kind of chat about something I had watched that week. So I'm pretty sure this week will be Companion, because I'm going either Thursday or Friday to see that in the theater. But yeah, otherwise there's a community post on my page about upcoming pre-recorded videos as well. But as always, thank you for having me. I look forward to these every single week. I love these breakdowns.
Love having you on. And yes, everyone, please go check out her channel and give her a sub.
Thank you.
Or
Thank
just
you.
leave a comment if you already sub. So you can catch me here. Zach will be here Thursday. Anything else you got going on, Zach? Do you want to mention anything?
Besides going on the show, no, that's pretty much it. I'll be here for Thursday. Yeah, for sure.
Great work again there, Zach.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're just getting better and better, dude. Yeah, as for me, you can catch me tomorrow. I'll be doing Star Wars. We're doing that, and it's going to be flipping awesome tomorrow night. Then Thursday, you can catch me for Kaiju number 8, episode 4. Friday, you can catch me here doing Turning Guchinese as we kind of slide into the Badger's Den. Yes, I said that. And Late Night with Gooch on Sundays. Check them out. We have a blasty blast on there. It's a lot of fun. So, Rossi, you had to sneak that in there. Thank you, buddy. Got a super sticker. And can anyone guess what it is?
It's a peach.
Yeah, it's a peach. Yeah.
Peachy.
Thank you,
For butt
Rob.
stuff?
Appreciate it. Yeah. But,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We
yeah.
need to get busy making that roast beef emoji for members.
We're gonna raid right into Irwin's right away here. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Appreciate all you guys. Chat, you guys are fucking phenomenal. I love you guys. The Gooch gang lives on, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night. And I want to thank the panel. These guys are great. Love hanging out with these guys on Tuesdays. Thank you so much. Everyone, take care. Only one thing left to say.
Stay Gucci,
Stay
baby.
Gucci.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moon?